What's happening, y'all? This is Mike D with Black Fathers Now, where we're bringing the village to the brothers. Every couple of weeks, you can look forward to a quick inspirational message or a thought-provoking guest with knowledge and wisdom, all geared towards helping you be the best father that you can be. We're bringing the village to you. Now it's your turn to do something with what you learned. All right, y'all. Let's go.
What's up, fellas? Yo, check this out. Y'all are in for a treat today. Today's conversation is with Jasom Evans, the founder of Jaz-E Games. Well, he and his wife co-founded this company, and they produced this board game called Success. Success is a dope board game, y'all. So definitely tune in, listen in as I learn a little bit about the game initially, and then we go into his story. So y'all check it out, and I look forward to hearing your responses about what you learned. Holla.
All right, the goal of the game is to be the first person to fill up their card with these success pieces.
Okay.
And what you'll notice is that each card is different.
Okay.
So, for example, you have to get an education. One of the things you have to fulfill is to get an education to fulfill your success, which is one of these pieces. Okay. I don't need it. I need to buy a luxury piece, and then also I need to. You have pet. Okay, I need to get a luxury piece, and you don't. And then I also have to have kids, and you don't. What that shows is that everybody's path to success is different.
So this card that I picked randomly has 8 different categories, and there are 8 random categories that are basically components of somebody's life.
Yes,
which could be different. Like our lives are different. Like somebody might have kids, somebody might not.
Yes,
somebody's married, somebody's single, somebody's all these different things. And so these 8 things represent just 8 random components of a person's life.
Yes,
gotcha.
Yes,
okay.
So that tells a story, and the way to do that in this game is you roll the dice to move around the board, clockwise direction. If you land on the spaces that are fully green, you earn a spin. Okay. The spin will indicate what type of career you get, what type of vehicle you might have to purchase, what type of investment you get. Either you're getting paid or you're paying out, but most importantly, you're getting the piece that you need to get one step closer to your success.
Okay.
Almost like fulfilling a bucket list.
And so to that point, success is determined, or success is won in this particular game when each one of the 8 components are filled.
Yes.
Okay.
Or it's last man standing, to where if you were to go bankrupt first, because we're playing a 2-player game, then I would win because I'm the last man standing.
Okay.
So each person starts off with $3,000.
Okay.
And you have to learn to use your money wisely in this game, because when you land on spaces that are fully green, if it's on your board, you'll get a gauge of where you're at in the game. Shows a little bit of classism. Shows you how to pay vehicle bills, house bills, and so on. So this right there is, okay, man, I haven't got a job yet, and I only have $300 left, so I can't negotiate as hard with somebody.
Gotcha.
But if you're the doctor and you keep landing on career, you keep getting paid, then you have more room to negotiate.
More leverage.
Yes. Okay. Which is like real life. You know, the man who's got the most money usually wins. In this game is different. I've won this game with 6 kids before as a construction worker.
Okay.
It is just different. What the game shows is, I got my degree from UT. You know, kids have student loans. Got debt. I have a friend that owns 2 paint stores. Didn't step foot in the college.
Really?
So what that showed me was, you just, like you said earlier, you got to know what your passion is, and you got to know what your talents are. He knew from jump he wasn't cut for college, but he knows how to run it. He knows how to run a business, and he's been a successful business owner for over 10 years.
And this was interesting. You say that where you come from or your circumstances are not necessarily indicative of the potential you have for success.
Yes.
So, and that's pretty interesting, pretty fascinating just to think. This is my first time, even touching the game. I've seen it online, I've watched you and followed you on social media and stuff. But what's cool is hearing that, so everybody's dealt, it's like in life, we're all dealt a different hand of cards.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, how do you play those cards? And so now we're dealt different cards, you and I. So now we're going to play these cards in the game of success.
Yes.
And the tagline is what? The keys to success
is in your hands.
Is in your hands. I dig it. Well, let's get started, man. Let's play some of this. Okay. So this is cool. So now talk to me a little bit. All right. So you started Success, this game. Like, what was like the inspiration? And we can play as we talk about. What was the inspiration on starting this particular game? Well, maybe tell me a little bit about you. So this is Jason Evans with Jaz-E House, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Jaz-E House Games. Yes.
Jaz-E House Games. And tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and all of that, and then let's kind of jump into what inspired Success.
Okay. Well, I have 2 boys and a girl.
Okay.
The girl's the youngest one. They're 7, 4, and 2.
Okay.
I've been married for 4 years to Tiara Evans.
Okay.
She used to work for the state of Tennessee as a child investigator.
Okay.
My background, I'm a project manager for Gym Technologies. So help manage projects, budgets, and stuff. Graduated from UT in 2006. Lived in Knoxville ever since I was in kindergarten. The way we came about the game of Success was my wife bought my dad a Monopoly board at the end of 2015, and she convinced us to play the games, and she bought it at the end of Christmas. And I didn't really feel like going over there that night, but I invited some friends over to my dad's house to play the game. Well, my friend Jamar came up with his own house rules, saying, hey, the first time you go around the board, you can't own any property. And I've heard that one before, and I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then on top of that, he was cheating.
Uh-huh.
And the way he was cheating was he landed on go to jail, directly to jail. And he was like, well, since it's the first time around the board, I don't have to go to jail.
Uh-huh.
And then my wife landed on one of the chance cards, and he was like, no, you got to pay that. And we were like, how does that work?
Uh-huh.
So we were joking around, making up different scenarios, and the game was supposed to be called By Chance. It was supposed to be a different type of game where it showed that, hey.
So the name of this Success was supposed to initially be called?
It was supposed to be a different game.
Called By Chance.
By Chance.
Okay.
And By Chance ended up turning into Success, because what happened was in that game we came up with scenarios, and my wife was like, we might as well play the Evans game. Mm-hmm. And my mom was like,
now the Evans game, what's that?
That's my last name is Evans.
Okay.
And my mom was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. You need to do that board game, and that's how the board that's how the board game started.
Hold on, go back. So, okay, the Monopoly by your buddy's own rules, and that kind of made y'all think about stuff a little different. Mm-hmm. But then one night y'all playing games, your wife said we might as well play the Evans game.
That's correct.
So did you all already create your own rules to Monopoly or something, or what was the Evans game that she was referencing?
Well, we were when she was saying the Evans game, she was just basically she was just talking smart about Jamar.
Okay.
And Jamar and my dad making up their own.
Oh, making up their own. Okay,
as rules they go. So she's just being slick. Like, hey, wait a minute here. You know, this is supposed to be Monopoly, not the Evans game.
Okay.
So the following year, I just got my notepad and I just started scratching out rules. And I thought to myself, I thought about things in my life that happened, like, you know, my brother passing when I was a freshman in high school, and some of my friends passing in school from different things, and when I was in for example, when I was in St. Louis, I met a guy one time, and he was a janitor, and it was a bad neighborhood. But I remember him talking about his son getting a scholarship to Harvard for football, and he was so proud, and there was nothing you could take away from him because he was proud of his son. And I said to myself, well, isn't it amazing that this guy that doesn't appear to have too much money, but he's got that joy of his son succeeding and having opportunity. So it's like it gave him a breath of fresh air. Wow. And then I went to Farragut High School, and there were some kids there that their parents gave them everything and gave them all the opportunities, but they drained it with addiction. Or their parents had multiple divorces and stuff. It's like, to me, is that success? You know?
They had all the money in the world, but yet when it comes to other measures of success, which might not be monetary, they might have been successful financially, but outside of that, there was not a lot of quote unquote success.
Yes.
From your perspective.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So that's where I came. That's where I came up with the object assesses. I'm not trying to keep up with the Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You see, this game could blow up tomorrow. But if my kids aren't successful and they're not carrying on my name and they're not carrying those family values and not contributing to society, then I have failed. You see what I'm saying? If my wife is not happy and my kids aren't happy, in my mind, I have failed. You know, you can't. One thing I believe in is money, material things. You can't take it with you. You know, they're tools you need to bless others.
That's right.
But really, it's, you know, if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, I probably bother a lot of people with a bunch of pictures and stuff. But those are memories that last forever. And when you look at those pictures, it allows you to laugh. It allows you to know what pain you went through at that time. It's just a beautiful thing to reminisce.
It's a reminder. It's a reminder of what's already happened. But sometimes when you go through tough points or tough moments, it's also motivation to keep going. So it's amazing how a picture can in essence serve as a reminder, but then a picture can also basically serve as motivation for the future, because it puts you in a place, or something about that picture takes you somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be pain or whether it be joy, it takes you somewhere. And no matter what you're going through in life, whenever you look back at that picture, you automatically go to that place. So sometimes that serves as motivation. Sometimes that serves as a reminder. For each person, each picture is something totally different. But I understand, because if you follow me on social media, we got pictures and videos and everything for days on the different accounts and all this. It's all over the place, but there's a purpose. There's a method to the madness.
Yes.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
But then also, what I've learned with this game is I've actually purposely spend more quality time with my kids. In regards to, you guys can play video games, but you're not going to play video games all day. You know what I'm saying? We're going to play that chess game, or we're going to play the game of success. We're going to do something, or we're going to go outside and play basketball. And another thing I've learned is, some people say, why a board game in 2017?
That was going to be my question.
Why a board game? I say, why not? The average family in America spends only 36 minutes a day together, and a lot of that's in front of TV.
Wow.
And then,
whoa, rewind, stop. 36.
36 minutes a day
total, and that includes meals. That includes everything. 36 minutes as a family together.
Yes, because the average family that does sit down to eat, I think it's around 19 minutes. Wow. Don't quote me on it. I think it's around 19 minutes. And then another thing I read that's kind of scary is, I love social media. But the thing about social media is, we all know this, it is causing rifts in marriages. It is making people, it's causing rifts in marriages. It's children these days aren't socializing as well, in my opinion.
They don't have to, because they have social media, meaning they can connect virtually, or they can connect on a different medium, so they're not forced to physically have a physical interaction with somebody, shake a hand, give a hug, look at somebody's eyes. You're not forced to do that, because you have some medium of technology that serves as that buffer between you and someone else. And so there is a skill set that is missing in a lot of kids, because they're not forced to get out and play with someone else, because they can just pick their phone up and go that way. I'm not anti-social media, and I don't think anybody is, but I look at social media kind of the same way that I look at freedom. When you think about freedom is a double-edged sword, because with freedom, you can do right, but you can also do wrong. You can do really good things. You can do really horrible things. You have freedom to make those choices, and to me, social media probably is in the same conversation with money, in a sense that money doesn't make you powerful. Money is just a tool to allow you to do things.
Yes.
Same thing with social media. You know, in one light, we can look at social media as a way to recruit terrorists, or we can see it as a way for, you know, kids to get into trouble and to not spend time with folks. But then the other side of that coin is, social media allows me to connect with somebody on the other side of the world right now and have a live discussion with them.
Yes.
Or having you to sell the Success board game in hundreds of countries around the world. You know, for people that countries you've never been to, you can sell Success there due to social media and the interactions that you have with people. So I see where you're coming from,
Yep.
but then I also see the benefit, and I look at it the same way that I look at freedom in the sense of it's a double-edged sword. You can do right or you can do wrong.
Yep.
But go back to the notion of, you said success was, the board game in 2017, the inspiration for that outside of just family time. I mean, what are some of the other inspirations to creating the actual physical board game in 2017?
Well, the inspiration was I found out that I had a passion for this.
Mm-hmm.
So once I got started, I couldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when a woman's I remember, when a woman's carrying a baby, they get intimate with it.
Okay.
There's nothing like
we
like
can't
your mom.
understand
we
that.
can't,
That's right.
we can't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's like, okay, well, I gave birth to this thing. It's a different type of birth.
Yeah.
And that's how they feel about. That's how they feel about their children. That's why
Mm-hmm.
nobody beats mom.
That's
a lot of
right.
times.
That's right.
Nobody beats mom because she's been through it. But the other inspiration was just watching. The reason why I knew this game worked is when I had my brother and my dad beta test the game,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed the discussion that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, wait a minute here. Here are grown adults having good discussions, talking about real life things, laughing and joking.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, while I'm beta testing this game, they're like, well, we're not really feeling this. They were feeling it through their discussion.
Mm.
So I said, man, I just realized that not only is it a fun game that kids learn,
Mm-hmm.
but adults are talking and stuff. Whether you're having a drink or what, you're having fun socializing. People pick up cards like this is real life.
Mm-hmm.
You got a scholarship. This is a great way to open up certain discussions that are sometimes tough for families to open up. But when kids have played my game, their parents have told me, my 13-year-old or my 14-year-old has asked me certain questions.
Mm-hmm.
We played the game 2 or 3 times a day, and they kept asking questions. They're like, this is, is this how life really works?
Mm.
And it's like, yes, this is how life really works. The reason why I did $3,000 in the game is because in the game of life, you can retire a millionaire.
Okay.
Not everybody in life is going to be a millionaire.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to teach that with $3,000 that you had to use the tool. But if kids are playing a game and they feel a little bit of a pinch, then your instincts pick up and it plants seeds on, hey, what if my water heater does go out?
Mm-hmm.
Or what if me and my wife don't work out? If I do get married, that's gonna cost some money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What happens if I do pay that car off? Because what you'll notice in some games is you'll notice kids saying they'll be glad that they'll get the extended cab truck in the game, depending on how much money they got.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they get a job that doesn't pay that much, they're hoping to get their car, but they're hoping to get the used car for $150.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there shows them practicality.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I only have $2,000 and I got to buy 5 more items. So I'm really hoping that I roll and get that used car.
This man, I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy about this. It's making me just think because I'm big on budgeting. I'm big
Yes.
on budgeting, on focusing on kind of big plans when it comes to money. Like thinking about the big picture, but then starting with the end in mind and working your way backwards.
Yes.
Living within your means, investing. Paying cash for everything. I mean, the only debt we have is our mortgage now. You pay off credit cards, pay off student loans, all of that. Buy cars with cash. That's how we operate. So this really piques my interest financially.
Yeah.
And actually, the last interview that launched on Black Fathers Now was a wealth manager, and he really talked about the whole notion of wealth being a value system.
Yes.
And just so it's basically a mindset, not necessarily the amount of money you have, but your mindset as you attach to that particular money. Because money, again, as we mentioned earlier, is just a tool. To your point, with all these different scenarios, these are things that, and I think about, like, especially us in the black community, a lot of times we don't talk about money, right?
Yeah.
We don't talk about money from a real perspective of really what's going on. Like, I think I've mentioned this before in a previous interview or previous episode. I didn't know what my parents made until I was an adult. We don't even talk about stuff like that. I didn't know what my parents' salaries were until I was an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you don't know what the mortgage is, what the cable bill, the electricity and phone, all of these different things. I didn't know these things as a kid because culturally we're taught as young folks that, hey, that's grown folks talk. Y'all go out of the room.
Yeah.
This type of game here, man, is going to inspire these conversations. Now, parents going to have to realize this might spawn an 8-year-old to start asking questions that you don't want to talk about. But in reality, it's going to cause them to think differently about money, which I'm gung-ho about, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, my 7-year-old son is talking about, and I got to work on this there.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about wanting to do lemonade stands, and he's talking about doing business already as a 7-year-old.
That's awesome.
And he's smooth, and I tell you the truth, Zaren's slick. I mean,
Mm-hmm. He's slick.
Zaren is slick.
I love it.
And you know, Kai is gung-ho, but Zaren's smooth.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, you want to do a lemonade stand? I was like, that's cool. So he's all watching his actions, and he's all, you know, he's really, really good kid. And it's like, man, I know that at this pace, I know that I could probably send him out. I know that I could build this game up well enough and say, you know what, Zaren, 12, 13 years old, you're going to do these spreadsheets. You're going to do this for me. You're going to, if you want, you're going to do this type of work. Because he's seeing how things work with the elements of this game early. But I mean, just like I took your success piece earlier. That's life. These are things that happen.
That's right. Turn in. I mean, like he's flipping over cards here, and these are probability cards, which are part of the thing. And some of them, like one of them was bankrupt. Turn in all owned assets. So anything that you own, you turn in. Your spouse has maxed out your credit card. Pay $300, or what else? Your homeowner's fees are due. Pay $125. Things like that. These are late. It's a lucky night at the casino. Collect $500. Some have been to Vegas, and done their thing. I mean, there's another one about divorce. They're saying, hey, there will be better days. Sorry about it. You lose half of your assets. I could go on. This is amazing because these are all real life scenarios that people deal with. Everybody doesn't deal with the same stuff. And again, as you start to play the game, you're all randomly assigned, or you randomly pick a card that has 8 categories, which are going to be different. And so that's going to give you a different hand of cards. But it's going to be interesting to see how you play that hand of cards that you're dealt. So I got a question. Like success, okay, you started it. You kind of talked about the inspiration. The actual, like the starting of the business itself, or the starting of the game, like what was the process of actually creating this game? Like how did this all come about? As far as you talked about, like, yes, the notion of you want to create time after playing Monopoly and just inspiration from that perspective with your wife, but the process of actually starting a game, like how does somebody go about creating a game?
First thing you do is you come up with the idea, and you keep it. I kept a notepad with me.
Okay.
And my wife and I we sat down at the couch and we would brainstorm together about what needs to go in the game. So we would debate about that. I'm not an artist at all, but you see that I framed what the first game was.
Oh wow! So I see you did a little mock-up, a sketch of what you thought the game, or all the different components that we see right now. You kind of drew a sketch of that, so you can visually see, almost like a vision board, so to speak.
So what I did when I did this right here, when I did the probability cards, in the future of the game, there's going to be different category keys with different careers, different vehicles, different type of investments, and then some mix and matches, just so that people can be educated on, like the computer programmer. I'm going to plant seeds in other areas of travel, other items that might be luxury items, other areas of fame, just to plant those seeds so where people can research more than just the general thing. Okay. Not everybody's going to be an NBA basketball player.
Gotcha.
I just don't.
Yeah, I'm vertically challenged, so that's not happening for me.
And I can't play no basketball, But
and you mentioned, you said the future of the game. So the current setting or the current state of the game, you're looking to iterate and develop that a little bit more.
Yes.
Now, just in the physical sense of the board game, or you're thinking to do something from a technology perspective, or what are your thoughts?
I struggle with the technology because right now I sell family time, face-to-face time.
Okay.
I would make a lot of money doing an app, but then I'm talking about families spending time together, face-to-face. So if I have an app, yes, I'll make a lot of money. It makes sense, but they're not getting that family interaction. All the families that play my game have said they played it 2 or 3 times, and they've had good conversations with it. Adults likewise. They'll say, man, not a board game guy, but man, we had some interesting conversation, and that's powerful.
That is powerful.
We've had some interesting conversation, and
well, I guess my question to you there would be, I mean, do you see that you could not do both? Like, would one cannibalize the other, or would one take away from the other? You know, from the standpoint of, because the other part of it could be maybe those folks who would be interested in the information in the way that you present it. Because I look at it from the standpoint of, the game is fun, and this will be a good family time thing, especially with my kids or whatever. We're gonna buy a board game as well from this, so let me know how to buy it. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
But long story short, I could see that as a family thing for us. But then I also could see like some type of app or tech-based something that would be cool as well.
Yeah.
Because the way that you present it is also like, wow, these are scenarios that are real. It's almost like, if your kids won't sit down, if you're in high school or middle school, I would almost force my kids to go through these scenarios so that they start seeing. It's like, you think about risk analysis.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Or you think about, like, for instance, our kids now play on playgrounds in which the ground is soft. There's nowhere for them to fall. They're not going to virtually get hurt doing anything. There's no way for them to really assess risk up until they become dang near an adult. And that's kind of how we cushion our kids, so to speak. Whereas scenarios like these are real life examples that you can start learning to analyze risk before you actually incur the risk itself. And so from a tech perspective, I could see like an app that would be another option if the families don't want to use it. I know that's what you want to do, and I'm 100% on board with that. But for those that could really benefit from the system that you're putting in place, I could see that as well. So do you ever see that?
The way I pitch the app is, if I did an app, of course, it would show like a spouse, and then it would show a dog, and create a little story with it as it goes. Okay. Almost like an Oregon Trail or something like that. So I have thought about it, but I'm still early. It's still early.
Now, when did you launch Success? When did this officially launch?
This officially launched in the middle of November is when I got my first shipment. Okay. And then I got my big shipment 3 days before Christmas. Okay. Shipping was actually behind. My graphic designer got sick for a couple of months. Oh wow. So that's what pushed it back. Okay. So it took about a year. It took 4 to 5 months to perfect this, get it right, get all the things out, shift spaces as they went, throw this in, throw this out, come up with the shape of the board. It took 2 to 3 months with the graphic design, and then it took 4 months for the manufacturer they used. Oh wow! And I'm gonna show you some of this where it started. Wow. The actual board that you're looking at was my daughter's Huggies box. Oh wow! I cut out a circle representing the circle of life in regards to the board. These pieces right here. I'm not an artist. I just typed them up real quick. This is your vision board. Yeah, so you're just kind of showing me your vision, so to speak. Okay. The spinner that you see was a spinner that I bought from Dollar General. And I just marked numbers on it. Gotcha. The cards were just paper. The money was paper. These pennies were the success chips you put on your board. But we printed out what the category key was, and we labeled. As we played and beta tested, we labeled who had it. Wow. So each time we played, we printed out. Oh wow. We printed out a new sheet to see what happens. That to get the statistics of it going. You'll see that the kids' Legos were the moving pieces. So there would be times when they try to take the Legos from us while we're beta testing. We're like, no, we need to borrow your Legos. We're building something here, kids. Something here. The success cards. I was either going to do 7 success pieces or 10, and let the players choose how many successes they wanted to finish with. 7 symbolizing the shorter game, 10 if you want a longer game. Okay. Well, my designer talked me into doing 8 because it's a 2 to 8 player game. Gotcha. It's ages 8 and up. Gotcha. So just simple numbers or whatever kind of link together, connect to each other, so to speak. And then, so you see the category key. We marked up. We saw the money. We saw these. Wow. And that's what it is. And this game you're looking right here is a limited edition board. Okay. There will only be 1,000 of these ever made. Okay. Which it's got gold here. Okay. And the gold on the back of it is going to go away. Okay. And this design is going to change too. And the dice are just going to be regular white. black
Interesting.
dice.
So and that's the limited edition one.
The limited edition one's the only one that's out now.
Okay.
And then in July and August, we're gonna start on we're gonna finalize what the design is gonna be for the regular edition that everybody's gonna get.
Gotcha. So right now, so is the limited edition available for purchase now?
Oh yes.
Yes. And where can they purchase that? And I mean, online, directly through your website, or through various retailers, or how can people purchase the Success board game?
You can purchase Success through me online. We have a website. It's jazehousegames.com.
jazehousegames.com.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll put that in the show notes. It's going to be in the show notes. Okay.
And then also, we're in 6 different stores in 5 different cities. I would like to thank Smart Toys and Books of Knoxville first for giving my first start with retail stores.
Awesome.
So the 6 stores that we're in are Smart Toys and Books in Knoxville, Tennessee, Homewood Toy and Hobby in Birmingham, Alabama, which has been a family business, small business for over 60 years.
Oh wow.
O.P. Taylor's in Brevard, North Carolina, which is one of the top 10 toy stores in the whole country.
Oh wow.
Brilliant Sky Toys and Books in Charlotte, North Carolina. Learning Express in Franklin, Tennessee. And the last one is Phillips Toy Mart in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow.
So 6 stores, 5 different cities.
And they can go online to Jaz.
And they can also go online. And then also, what is also something that I love is each time I get a new school that gets it, it just
yeah, a new school. So speak about that a little bit. You said the schools. So there's some schools that are utilizing the game as well.
A lot of the schools I sold at the end of the year.
Really?
So they're looking at it now, saying, okay, how can we use this? Are we going to use it? Are we going to use it for our curriculum, or are we just going to use it for kids' downtime?
Okay.
So even if it's in the kids' downtime, they're still learning. So even if a kid's got a recess day, let's say you got 30 kids in the classroom, and only 10 of the students want to play the game. You got 2 groups of kids that are learning about real life, even in their downtime. They're learning about finances. They're learning about things that are real. But even teenagers, if you sit down and get teenagers, even teenagers love the game, which is rare.
I'm telling you, man, it piques my interest, and I can think about kids would really enjoy it, primarily because it's real life. It's just like, man, okay, I can understand this, and this kind of it's. People connect to stuff that they live. People connect to stuff that they do on a regular basis, and that's dope, man. And so some schools have already purchased and they're utilizing it. You got a lot of feedback. What about you mentioned to me before we started recording here the age? Like, what is the typical age for the for Success the board game?
The board game is recommended for ages 8 and up, and the reason why we say ages 8 is most kids should be able to add money at the age 8. But we've had kids as young as 5 learn how to add money. They say that the earlier you teach your kids about finances, the better off they'll be in life. My wife found that in a Forbes article. I got to ask her to get that.
Okay.
But you start a kid off at 4. So right now, my 4-year-old, because he sees Zarin play and he sees the other people play, it's like, well, you're not ready to play this yet. But before you play, Kai, what is this?
They pull the 20 out.
What is this? So every once in a while, like the other day, he knew what the 100 was. He knew what the 50 was.
He knows about the big bills.
Yes. So he's because he wants to be like his older brother.
That's right.
He's figuring this out faster. Because it's like, hey, Kai, you're not old enough for this yet. So that in his mind, I don't know why it's like that with kids and people. When you tell people no, it just makes them want to learn. You know what I'm saying?
A little reverse psychology, basically.
Yes. So he's learning that, and Zarin's learning the money. He's learning the life skills, and those seeds are planted. But yeah, we got Knox Catholic High School. They bought a couple games. Yesterday, the Diocese of Knoxville bought a game.
Oh wow!
And the lady said that she is over 10 other schools.
Oh wow!
And she's gonna talk to them at the end of the summer. And she bought a game, which is really big opportunity.
That is awesome. Yeah.
So these are private schools, premier schools that see the potential and the value of success. Then one of my most gratifying was Ridgedale Alternative School.
Mm-hmm.
These are kids that aren't really, at the level of fairness. They have some problem kids there. I talked to the teacher about a month ago. She said, Jason, we played the game at least 20 times.
Wow.
And after TCAPs, I'm going to use it as part of my curriculum. I was like, wow, that's great.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, this is good.
And that's an alternative school. And so that's interesting because, we look at things like this from the perspective of kind of helping kids to capitalize on their current opportunities. But you have scenarios in which kids, are at an alternative school for a reason, for some various reason. And this is something that's helping them to climb up a little bit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To see things a little differently. And it's unique the way that you present this. It makes it interesting. And the examples you gave from the elite private schools to the alternative schools to the families to the young kids to the teenagers, everybody having an interest in success or the way that it's presented or the value that it brings to the table, that in itself to me shows that everybody can gain something from this no matter what level you're at or where you think you are. You can learn something from this. Even if you're some financial guru, this would be fun to kind of play with.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is fascinating, man. It's very few things do I encounter that are for everybody.
Yes.
This is legitimately for everybody.
Yes. I mean, I went to Arbor Terrace, which is a retirement home.
Mm-hmm.
And they say if you do they recommend that if you do a puzzle or a board game at least twice a week, it helps slow down dementia and Alzheimer's to keep your brain working. So that's another benefit. But playing the board game yesterday with folks at a retirement home, you should have seen the memories that they had. One of the ladies was playing. She's like, "Yeah, I used to own this type of car."
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Or I used to own this type of home.
Wow.
So it took her back to memory lane.
In fact, like you were talking about your pictures.
Yes, and it's like this is great.
Mm.
So in that hour that I did the game night with them, I learned a lot about that lady.
Mm.
I learned about her kids and that she had a parakeet, and you know what I'm saying. And it just there was something pleasant in those memories.
Mm.
And but it's just real touching. So yes, it's a game for all ages in my opinion.
Mm.
So, and then another benefit too is I have families that have said that we've incorporated game nights and family nights, and they'll put the game in rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So they're playing Success, but they're playing other board games and they're seeing interaction because Hasbro has a study saying that families that play 96% of families that play board games feel closer to each other.
Wow.
And it's because you're forced to. It's
amazing.
TV and everything.
That's amazing.
So
that's amazing, dude. Now I got a question. So we've heard a lot about success. We've heard a little bit about your story and your family, your kids, your wife, and the development and inspirations and all. We also have where we can capture success. How can people connect with you via social media? Like, what's the best way? Is it Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat? Are you active across the board there? What's the best way for people to connect with you? And
professionally, LinkedIn.
Okay.
Instagram and Facebook are very powerful. I like the Instagram.
Yeah, I like Instagram a lot. Uh-huh.
Instagram is my favorite in regards to social media, and I'm gonna start Snapchat.
Okay, gotcha. And so, how do people follow you on all of those?
Oh, if you go to Facebook, like and share my page. It's just Jaz-E House Games. It will pull up on Facebook.
Okay.
Instagram, it's Jaz Success 2016. If you want to follow me on Instagram and like and follow my page, and then LinkedIn, just follow Jasom Evans, and you'll get updates on what schools and stores that we're in through LinkedIn.
And we'll make sure to put all those in the show notes so everybody can check out Jason, follow him, shout out and let him know you heard about him on Black Fathers Now. And y'all go online and grab one of these games, man. It's gonna be awesome, man. Now, what's the cost of the game? Like, how much does the board game cost?
The board game is $35.99 plus tax.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
It's about a $40 board game, but that's great quality.
And it's limited edition too. It's very good quality.
Yes.
Very good quality. It's limited edition one too. So y'all got to grab this one because this one won't be around. It's only 1,000 getting manufactured,
Yeah,
right?
and no, there's only 1,000. They've already been made. There's only 1,000 that are made.
Oh wow!
Yes, and the number is dwindling down
Quickly, so you better get it.
Because at the end of July, I have another opportunity with a lady that's on the Teachers Association.
Okay.
And once she sees how powerful this could be in every school.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
And which I'm really thankful. And then at the end of August, I meet with the Southeast District of the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh wow.
So I'm getting these opportunities, and when you sit just like you, when you sit down and you play it, you see it.
Yes.
And some people would say, this seems like, when they look at it, like this seems like it's just like Monopoly.
No.
You got
Monopoly is generic. This is very specific to life. And literally, this is my first time playing it. This is actually Jason and I's first time in person talking. We've been on, the phone and on social media, whatever, going back and forth. But what's interesting, and this is what really catches me, these are scenarios that any and everybody, you've known somebody that's gone through every scenario that you're going to experience here on Success. And everybody's cards that you're dealt are totally different. And each time that you play, you're going to get a different card. And so to that point, you're going to have a different scenario to play, a different way of approaching life. But it's going to be in a way that you can walk out of this door here, and the stuff that you just played with are things that you're going to encounter.
Yep.
That's the part of it to me that's just, it sticks with you and you remember. You file it in the back of your memory because you're constantly going to be reminded of everything that you see, because those are the things that your buddies are talking about, that your friend, that your wife, that your parents, your kids, everybody's going to be talking about these things. It resonates, man.
Yep.
So kudos, dude. This is the bomb, and I'm really looking forward to this thing just blowing up, man. How Black Fathers Now, how can we as a family support success? Like, what would you like from us?
Well, get the word out. Of course, get a copy. Play the game. Play the game. Post pictures of you playing the game. Take video of how exciting the game is. Just build those memories. Just start off with success, and then you can add the other things like fishing and going hunting or whatever you like to do. But most importantly, just life is short. Build those memories.
I love it. Build those memories, fellas. Build those memories. And like I said before, I want to thank Jason for spending time with us. And I'm going to put all his information in the show notes. So the website, all his social media links, how you can catch the game, the price of the game, all that good stuff. And make sure you connect with him and let him know you heard about him on Black Fathers Now. And as always, follow Black Fathers Now, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Haven't started Snapchat with Black Fathers Now, but I will do that soon. Visit the website, blackfathersnow.com. If you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, make sure to give us a great rating, because that helps us to go up in the charts or whatever. So definitely give us a great rating, leave some comments, and share this out with your family and friends. And until next time, fellas, y'all be blessed, well, and wise, and we'll holler at you. Peace.
Yo, fellas, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And always visit blackfathersnow.com, as well as follow Black Fathers Now on virtually every social media platform you can think of. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Just follow us and engage with us, man. Look forward to hearing from you. And I guess until next time, I'll holler at you. Peace.